Welcome back to Breaking News to Me, the show where a girl sits in her room alone, cold, at 11:41 p.m. and talks to herself for 35 minutes. This episode is sponsored by... It's me. I sponsored myself because nobody else will sponsor me. Brands, I have an email. It exists. Please. No, but actually, I'm on an EP now. Ta-da! After the Clouds, an EP I collaborated with Denish on. No, I didn't just say my own name, I promise. It's different. It's now out on all streaming platforms. There's 4 songs in total. I'm featured on 2 songs, Stray Balloon, which I also played the piano for, and I Can't Be Bothered. Both of these songs I helped write and compose along with Nisha and Dennis on the drums. And the 2 other songs by my lovely bandmates are Sayangku, the Dilu song, and Hey You, written and composed by Nisha, again, with Dennis on the drums. Again, they're available on all streaming platforms such as Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, and any other music sites, I think. Probably. You can also find the playlist and all the other links for this on my channel and in the description. Anyways, I need to stop promoting things before people click off the video. Please don't leave! Today we'll be talking about Episode 3, 2 Fish in a Pond, and Episode 4, Reminiscent Scene. So let's talk writing. Get it? Talk writing? Yeah, not very funny. The first thing I'll talk about, although it's kind of sad, that's on me, because I was like, it's time to hit them with edginess. I'm not really sure if it's considered edgy, but I rarely talk about anything even remotely sad. Unless you watch my videos from 5 years, please don't. Do not click off this video to watch a video from 5 years ago. I will quite literally die inside. I really thought I was so cool making a Billie Eilish gacha music video and Roblox music videos about real friends. And people watched it. I think that's the worst part. I may put a lot on my resume, but I'm not putting that on there. Anyways, time for me to stop getting distracted again like I do every episode. So basically, there's a part where Venus can't answer a question because it's a hard topic to talk about. I actually wanted to point out the narration because I feel like it was pretty important. The line I'm going to talk about is this. It's a feeling of guilt, not for something that you've done, but because there's nothing you can do. When I was writing for this episode, I tried to put myself in their shoes, as I'm assuming most writers do. How would I feel if I saw someone cry in front of me about something that happened to them? And this felt like the best description to me. Sometimes when it comes to loss, it really hurts more to see people around you also crying. It's also really sad to feel like you can't do anything about it despite how badly you want to. And I noticed when I cry watching TV shows, which is very seldomly, I only cried when I saw other characters were crying too, and I guess it's because you really feel their pain. For me, another significant part of this scene is when Venus is apologizing, which is why I changed the font for this as well. The reason I wanted there to be an emphasis on the apology is because she apologizes for something she never had to. And I think in today's world, there's a lot of people who apologize when they don't need to. And that's why I felt like it was kind of important for Kai to say, you don't need to be sorry. Because it's true, a lot of us don't need to be sorry for just living, for just experiencing emotions as, humans. But we are constantly apologizing for that. And yeah. Hopefully that explanation made sense because I'm moving on now. In episode 3, they go to a pond and meet a koi fish. I almost said kai fish. Kai is a fish. Does that sound familiar to you? That's right, I mentioned koi fish in the fake newspaper from the Lavender Haze animation meme. And yes, it was for this. As I mentioned in the last breaking news to me as well. Anyways, in Japan, koi fish typically symbolize strength, courage, patience, and success through perseverance. And I thought patience and success through perseverance fit well with the episode's theme, and for the name that they would give said fish. It fits well to me because I feel like they need to be patient and persevere to fight off their writer's block, and it fits Kai's friend Lance because I think that's just how his character was, considering, he kind of had to fight an illness. He persevered through a lot, and I believe that he's a strong and carefree character, and to live carelessly is to live with courage sometimes. Ugh, this is so serious. Episode 3 was pretty light on Easter eggs because I left you on a cliffhanger for 3 weeks. Do you want a formal apology? Because I will. I will apologize right now. I am going to give a long note tab Twitter apology right now. I think episode 4 is also very self-explanatory because there's a lot of narration. There's a lot of, just read it. But I wanted to make this callback in case you missed it. The quote that Lance says about rain is featured in episode 2 as well, which means the grave that Kai visited was indeed for Lance, if that wasn't obvious. While we're on the topic, I figured it'd be a good time to mention the animation meme I made last week. So, the video has a few nods to Kai and Lance's friendship, and how he's dead. And there's this scene with kind of like jaws. I don't know how to describe it really, but it's like black and white jaws, and they open this kind of window where Lance is there, and then they open one where Lance isn't there, and then at the end, he stays in the one where Lance isn't there. And then closer to the end of the meme, this is kind of like the outro segment, I'd say. We have like a little heartbeat line in Lance's part, and that stops. That stops in the second part. I'm so sorry if you like Lance, because I'm just reminding you every chance I get. Look, he's dead! Guys, look! I buried him 6 feet under with my own 2 hands. Okay, now we can talk about Easter eggs. The car that Kai drives is a brand called Galactic, and it's literally just Galactic but with an X because that seemed cooler and something that a car company would do. I also used a Porsche as a reference for this. I wonder if anyone who likes cars noticed that. I figured that Kai would drive a nice car but also something that's like practical, so I chose a bigger one rather than, like one of those sleek, really sporty cars. Also, ta-da! The place that they go to is in the painting from episode 2. It was foreshadowing all along. And at 11:17, my song I'm calling Lullaby for now starts playing. I wrote the song on the piano using a lullaby my mom made for me, thus the name, and I thought it would be a lovely song to use throughout the series. Plus I get to put my name in the credits again. I'll probably turn it into a full song later on with lyrics, but for now, we have the instrumental. Now let's talk about episode 4's Easter egg. So of course, if I drew the background, I am absolutely gonna stuff it with Easter eggs, as I said before, and I think I drew all the backgrounds for this episode. It was very painful. Anyways, in the first scene of episode 4, we can see a shelf of books which I, of course, put a title on every single one. Those being The Story of Us, which is a reference to a Taylor Swift song, because of course it is, so I made it purple because it's a song from her album Speak Now. The next book is just the series title, News to Me. And then this really tiny one is like, I don't miss you. I don't know why I did that. I guess I was picturing like some romance novel about like moving on. And the next one is Capitalism at its finest. I was really talking about a lot of capitalism in this episode. We'll talk about that later. Hospitality basics, talk to your friends, journalism 101, gardening 101, criminal law nutshell series, the joys of writing, the untaught business. That sounds like some some shady organization. The next one, what is this? I cannot read this. This is so tiny. Oh my god. Archaeology? What? The something to real estate. Physics. 3. Immigration law. Series 2. Movie what? Oh, music theory. Dictionary. Social media marketing. What is that? What is that? Social media marketing. A yard or a new opportunity? I made these so small. I did this to myself. How to make do. Financial advice. Medical stories. Don't judge a book by its cover. I put down the cover. Judge this book by its cover. Commercial cookery. The basics. Aristar Festival. Solaris History Volume 1. The Science of Psychology. Vocals 101. Charisma 101. Backgrounds are difficult. Everything I know about art. How many books does it take to fill a shelf with? The answer is too many. Still going. When will it end? I could just fill this with lyrics, but I don't want to get sued. Finally, we're done. Disclaimer, I don't think I would get sued for, putting lyrics on a picture. Like, can you imagine if you make a lyric video when you're like 10 and then you get sued? And you might think, oh, that's a lot for one scene, but I'm sure that's wrong. That's not all of it. The water bottle says, "Water for you," a play on the title, "News to Me." It also says, "Insert inspirational quote here," because of course it does. And sometimes, when I write the script for these, and I have to watch and hunt down all of my Easter eggs a month later, I'm amazed because I'm like, wow, I forget nothing. Because somehow I will stick something anywhere. It doesn't even matter if you can see it in the end. I can't even see it in the end. But I'm also more surprised that I can remember any of them. But I literally had to ask myself just now, I didn't put anything in the salad, right? Also, there's a person in the back, but I'm not gonna tell you who it is. Me, keeping secrets. Again, as always. Also, fun character design fact, Lance has sunflower patches on both his jacket and jeans. Sunflowers symbolize loyalty and adoration. They're also notorious for representing optimism and happiness. Also, he has a yellow rose on his jacket, which, as we know, symbolizes friendship. As we know from before. Man, it's like I gave you homework and now I'm testing you. Watch out, pop quiz! Anyways, Lance shows Kai his phone with Kai's article on it, and yes, before you ask, I did write a short essay on capitalism for these 5 seconds of screen time. And yes, it is very angry. I would read it, but this video is probably long enough, and I don't think you need to hear me angrily talk about how everything is a mess because I'm pretty positive you are aware. Anyways, in that article you can also see a photo of a familiar place. It's none other than Crown Convenience Store from episode 2. In the hospital we can see some flowers by the window frame. They are spider lilies. If you watch anime, you are probably well aware of the meaning of spider lilies, but in case you don't know, red spider lilies symbolize death. Very fun, I know. According to Wikipedia, some legends say that if you see someone whom you may never meet again, these flowers will bloom along the path you take. And there are countless very sad and upsetting stories about these flowers. So, yeah, whoever put those flowers in there must really hate Lance. Seriously. Also, in this scene we see Kai with a blue vest. This was actually from his original design before I knew I was going to redesign his model and also Venus's. Which I also did again, but we're not going to talk about it. He was supposed to wear this in the second episode so that his outfits had more variety through different episodes, but instead I used it to represent his younger self. Fun fact, Lance gifted him his tie clip. And lastly, the credits. I do this in every episode because I'm doing everything and all the credits are just all me. I add a little silly thing at the bottom where it says everything, and this time it was everything. The same person who was in the credits 18 times. I counted. Okay, that's all for this episode. The next one has a lot of stuff going on in it, so I hope you enjoy it. See you then. Bye. And I thought patience and success through perseverance fit well with the episode. There's so many words in that. And I thought that perseverance... No. The car that... Great job. Why did I do this? Oh my god. Oh my god. Archaeology? And these flowers will bloom along your... I messed it up. Will bloom along the path you take. I didn't like that. These flowers will bloom along... I hate everything. Lance has sunflower patches on his... Okay. Rewatch and hunt down... Oh.